Alright guys, welcome back. This is part 2 of the van walkthrough. In this video we're going to cover all the exterior mods, what the van is that we ordered from factory and what factory options we covered, and all the systems or the services in the van like electrical, water and air. I just want to talk about the van, what the van exactly is, what we ordered and what factory options we went with. So the van in Australia, it's called a 419. The numbers mean is the 4 is to do with the payload, it's over 4 ton GVM, and the 19 is 190 horsepower. So it's the V6 turbo diesel model, still with the 4-wheel drive option, with the old school 4-wheel drive transfer case. Don't think the all-wheel drives have hit Australia yet. From factory we optioned the swivel seats and long range fuel tank. That was the only thing that I wanted on the van. They tried to sell me a camper van package, but there's a lot of things in there that I didn't want. With the long range fuel tanks, the factory tank is a 72 litre, and once you option through Merck, you can go to a 90 litre fuel tank. It's definitely not big enough, so don't worry about trying to get the long range fuel tank from factory. We optioned for a long range fuel tank from Brown Davis. It's 180 litre, and it's been unreal, getting over 1,000 k's to a tank, which has been pretty good with the van fully loaded. This is the Our Van engineering. A lot of the stuff on the van is exterior is Our Van engineering. This is the spare tyre carrier and ladder combo. Once you go the bigger tyres on the van, the tyre doesn't fit in the spare wheel well, so you have to put it on the back of the van, but they've come up with an awesome idea of carrying the spare tyre but also having access up onto the roof. Mounted to that, we've got the wheel bin bag. We've been using that for all our wet swimmers and wetsuits and towels. We went the factory tow bar from Merck. Haven't had to use it yet, but it seems a lot neater than some of the aftermarket options that I've seen on some vans. This is another Our Van's engineering product. This is the large expedition box. Just been using this to carry a gas bottle, some tools and some muddy shoes and some really wet stuff, but a bit messy at the moment, but really good handy storage box for stuff that you don't want in the van. Keeps everything dry and dust free. So, and this is a separate unit to what it actually mounts to. So the mount is actually like a universal mount from Our Vans that's called a B2 carrier. They make all different types of options that you can mount to the system, so you can kind of see it in the back there. So this whole frame, you can get bike carriers, ski carriers, snowboard, pretty much anything you want really. So we opted to mount the large expedition box to that. And then behind the Max Tracks we've got, it's called a mini Sherpa. It's just like a universal mounting plate. We're able to pick up only one pin for the Max Tracks and just ratchet strapped it for now, but it works. The Max Tracks are easy to get to, and mounted to that we went with the GME XRS radio. Nice and tidy little mount. And on the side here we've added the flare space flares. This creates enough room so you can sleep across the van. We've added the bunker windows, really good option for keeping cool at night. Down the bottom for wheels and tyres we went the Method 17-inch 703s with BF Goodrich KO2s in. There are 275/70. Apparently that's the biggest tyre you can go before it starts messing up the adaptive cruise control. These steps are another Our Van's product. They're also a very practical step, and also a bit of seal protection for the van when going off-road. We added these windows aren't factory, these are aftermarket windows that we added in. On the van we chose with the Van Compass 4.3 or stage 4.3 kit, and this one's like a fully adjustable kit. Didn't get to do much testing with the van prior, so I've only kind of driven the van properly with the suspension, so I can't really tell you before and after, but I do know when you're on the road and you've selected the shocks into like highway mode, like a firmer setting, you can really feel the van like firm up and sort of not sway coming into corners and things like that. And then you can really feel it once you open up the shocks completely for off-road. You just feel the van like soften up and do its thing. It works really well. I'm really happy with the suspension so far. Those spotlights up the front, we optioned with the Baja Designs LP6 and the Squadron Sports up on the top with the little hood line mount. Super cool light. And then mounted to this, we have got the CA Tune Hammerhead bull bar with the winch. I haven't had to use the winch mount or the winch yet. The winch is a Warn VR Evo 12S, which is a synthetic rope, 12,000 pound winch. This is another aftermarket window we've added in with the option for the slide window built in. Up on the roof rack, we have got 2 awning lights on the side, and we've got 2 awning lights at the rear. The awning we are running is the Fiamma F45S, real product, super easy to put out. Once it gets to there, chuck the legs down and you can bring it right out. Onto your struggles with this, being a short ass. As you can see, the thing's massive. And you sort of, it will go slack, and then you want to go back a touch, and it will kind of, your canvas will go tight, and that's it, sorted. You can adjust these whatever you want. Very shady. Well, out of the rain, it's good. On the roof, we went with the wedge tail platform rack. I think this is the best option in Australia for roof racks. It isn't quite finished. They sell mesh, like perforated mesh, to then fill in all these gaps. Sort of one of the things that we left last and did kind of leave in a bit of a hurry, but still works well. We've got enough room for surfboards. We've got the aircon up here, the max air fan up here, and 180 watts of solar up the front, and still plenty of room to walk around up here, and could even run toolbox or more storage up on the roof. You can see the awning mounts along the side. One of the things I wanted to achieve was it sort of not looking like a camper van. I think one of the main things when you see a camper van on the road and you say, oh yeah, 100% that's a camper van, is when they've got those big dirty cutouts for gas heaters and water fill points and shore power and all that sort of stuff. So if you look around the van, we haven't got any of that. We try to hide, or we did hide, nearly all of that kind of stuff on the van. And I wanted to show you guys how we did that. Our fill points for our fill point for our water is hidden under this side step, sort of tucked away nicely. These ball valves, so you have the option to, we've got 2 90-litre tanks. So we've got a side tank, which you can see here, and a rear tank, which you can see there, which sits in the spare wheel, the old spare wheel hole. So we've got a ball valve, we can have the option to fill each one, and another ball valve to draw what tank we're drawing from with the water. With electrical, we did the same thing. Instead of having a shore power mount in the side of the van, underneath here we've got like an IP Clipsal, like IP56 shore power mount, so you can see it stays nice and clean for shore power. And you've got your little solar input for solar blanket. So the other way we were able to achieve not cutting a hole in the van was running an electric hot water system, which is inside the van, so no need for cutouts for exhaust, for gas, fumes. Just a 10-litre Duetto unit, runs on 12 and 240. Alright, so we're deep in the garage. This is the hot water system we are running. It's a Duetto MK2. all the plumbing, which goes to the shower outlet. Up to the front, we've got the water pump. We are running the ARB compressor, the twin compressor, inside, with air lines running to the front and to the back. We've got an outlet on the bull bar and an outlet on the rear wheel arch box. This is the electrical system on the van. We are running a 326 amp hour lithium battery. We've got the Victron Multiplus inverter, 3000 watt. Got all your relays and fuses. We've got a Victron DC to DC charger. We're running 2 of them. And your solar controller. This is your Cymarine, that talks to your Cymarine unit, telling all your amps coming in and out. You've got your standard breakers for aircon, power points and things like that. Another little comms unit that could be maybe a shunt, not sure. And then that's your control for your relays talking to the Cymarine. So that's how we isolate our lights and hot water and services like that. As you can see, everything's super tidy, all compact into one wheel arch box in the van. This is the monster Brown Davis 108 litre fuel tank that they do for the sprinters. It's a steel tank, all powder coated black. It's a must-have if you're driving a sprinter with a bit of weight. That is part 2 of the van tour completed. If you want to see the interior, go check out part 1 on our channel. If you have any questions, comment below. Happy to answer anything about the van. And if you want to keep following our adventures around Australia, hit that subscribe button.